Finally, I'd like to introduce one of our strongest advocates to the stage. She knows far more about this disease than I do because she lives with it. She has been to Washington, D.C. with us to fight for lobby days, this year visiting with us 65 legislative offices along with 70 other people from around the country. She's one of our largest fundraisers and one of our greatest advocates for this cause. Would you please welcome to the stage Andrea Weinreb.
Figure out how to hold the microphone. My name is Andrea Weinreb, and I have lymphedema. This is my story. Let me know if it sounds familiar to some of you. It's November 2006, Thanksgiving weekend. I woke up with a very swollen ankle. How strange. What could it be? I elevated my leg. My kids told me I had a cankle. I never knew what a cankle was. Rested a little and went about my day. But it wasn't getting better, so off we went to the ER, where they looked for a blood clot, scratched their heads, and eventually sent me home. Several weeks later, thanks to a friend, I got to see the head of vascular medicine at one of the most prestigious hospital centers in the world. I'll leave out what it was. Not only didn't he know what was wrong with me, but he suggested an invasive procedure with my affected leg. Furthermore, while there with a bright red leg and running a fever, he didn't even recognize the beginning of an infection. So I went home thinking I had an undiagnosed fat leg and the flu. I stayed in bed, and while my leg was swollen, red, and hot to the touch, I couldn't imagine it was anything but the flu. But as my fever got higher, my friend Jamie, the doctor, kept telling me to go to the ER. We knew something was wrong, and it was time to go again. This time I was admitted with cellulitis. But I said, what's cellulitis? What is it? Several days in the hospital, IV antibiotics, went home, still no answers. So I went to see my family doctor. And up until then, he was like my sore throat doctor, like you had a strep throat. He was it, but that's about it. And he said, wait, you had lymph nodes removed, right? I went, check. You had radiation, check. I think you have something. Paused a little, went to his computer, starts Googling. He says, you have lymphedema. And I said, lympho what? He wrote it down on a piece of paper, told me to get compression stockings, and off I went on my own to figure out what was next. Next up, the local drugstore. My husband went and got me compression stockings. We had no idea what compression, what size. I didn't even know what to do with them. So I spent days and days doing research. I read everything I could about lymphedema, but honestly, there wasn't much to read. And little did I know at that time that I was a very lucky girl. Except this. This is not easy. Sorry. So I found out about CDT and went to an amazing massage therapist. Every day, 5 days a week, massage, wrap, massage, wrap. I started to feel like a mummy with my leg always wrapped. After many weeks, went for my first official compression stocking fitting. They offered me this awful, thick, beige, brown stocking, and I just got hysterical crying. I explained that I worked in the fashion industry, and these stockings were absolutely awful, and all I could hear this lady, she was really sweet, but this little Italian lady says, you look so beautiful, it's going to be okay. And I just left and I went, oy vey, I got to figure this out. But now you're getting the picture. In 2006, there was little info about lymphedema. I didn't know anyone who had it. I hated the stockings I was told to wear. I didn't have shoes that fit. I was sad, alone, and just frustrated. And then I discovered a nonprofit, the Lymphatic Research Foundation, which is now LE&RN. I figured they had to know a little bit more than me, so I contacted them and started to get involved. And as they say, the rest is history. Now, fast forward to today, November 10th, 2018, 12 years later. You may ask why I'm so lucky. When I was writing, my husband said, you're not lucky. I said, well, I am, because I was fortunate enough to be diagnosed early on. So many people live with this disease for years and years without any understanding what is happening. And in these 12 years, I have met the most incredible people with lymphedema from around the world. Helen from Australia, Vern from Texas, Kathy and Lisa from Boston, Laura from Alaska. Hi, Laura. Linda from my own town of Chappaqua, who's here also. Lindsay from DC, my dear friends Emma and her mom, Tiffany, and even Academy Award-winning actress Kathy Bates. Hey, we're friends now. And the list goes on. And I've met so many people with lymphedema through incredible social media groups where we share our ideas and frustrations. I've shared my stories with others, tips I discovered, like I'm an expert in how to keep your bandages from falling down, if you want to know. I have gone to Washington to lobby for better understanding of the disease and for NIH funding. Can you imagine I spent the whole day lobbying with Kathy Bates? And just last week, I had the honor of going to Harvard Medical School for the Lymphedema Patients Symposium. We learned about new treatments, and I walked out of there feeling extremely optimistic about the future. And now comes the good part. Did I show you that I am now wearing incredible shoes that fit both my feet? Did you hear me? I have the same shoe, the same style, and color on both my feet. This is the first time in years. You ask how? Well, Laura Oden, who had lymphedema, was as frustrated as all of us, and she couldn't find nice shoes that fit and did something about it. With her co-founders, Isla and Celia, they founded Pandra and designed shoes that expand in places that off-the-rack shoes do not. As they say, everybody deserves hip shoes that fit. The shoes are incredible, and Laura and Ayla are here today all the way from Alaska. Make sure you talk to them during the walk, and you really should treat yourself to a pair or two. I have two. And more amazing, I first met Laura at a physical therapist's office in New York City after we had just had lymph node transfer surgery with the fabulous Dr. Joseph Diane. So here we are at the 9th annual New York Walk Run for Lymphatic Disease and Lymphedema. Wow, I am so happy to be here and so proud to be speaking. Well, actually, lymphedema sucks. I mean, you cannot just jump out of bed in the morning, shower, and go. You have to wake up, shower, moisturize your leg, wrap it. In the summer, you have to restrict many outdoor activities. This is not a good day for this. You have outdoor activities in fear of getting a bug bite and possibly getting cellulitis. You have to find the right thing to wear so you can be dressed somewhat appropriately given your limitations. And you have to unwrap your leg, re-roll your bandages, use your leg pump, and put on your night garment before you jump into bed in the evening. And you try to do it all with a smile on your face and the appearance that it's no big deal when you really know it is. Well, I hate having lymphedema. I will not let it define me. In fact, I really believe it has given me a bigger purpose in life. Every day I try to spread the word, advocate, help others, fundraise, and fight for cure. I no longer try to hide my large leg. I now wear leggings, expose my leg, and talk to anyone who will listen. All right, right now, I can hear my husband and girls laughing because, yes, I do like to talk. I talk to anybody, online, at the store, on an airplane, so it's probably a good time to mention my incredible family and friends. It does take a village. My husband, Bruce, has been by my side through it all. He even helped me wrap my leg every single day for the first few years before I realized that I could actually do it myself, and that was not fun. Because it always ended up on the wrong side, and it was, My daughters, Allie, Sarah, and Maggie, are my cheerleaders, always helping me, whether rolling my bandages, helping me fundraise, being a shoulder to lean on. My son-in-law, Mickey, and Sarah's boyfriend, Ian, are always there to support me as well. And now I've recruited my two precious grandchildren, Nadav and Yael, who, when visiting recently, like to sit with me and wrap my leg, often helping me with the bandages, ripping the pre-wrap, which is a great trick if no one knows about it, lightly massaging my leg while asking, "Does it hurt, Grandma?" And of course, they're my dear friends. I have many, but Jamie and Beverly and Dodger and Howie are here today, who are always available to listen when I get frustrated and to offer me medical advice when needed. It's really suggested to have your best friend be a doctor. Yes, it does take a village, and I have an incredible one. And now I need to tell each and every one of you what we all have to do next. We need to get the word out to everyone every day. I want you to talk to people at work, at school, online, at the supermarket, at church, at synagogue, on an airplane. Tell them about LE&RN. Tell them about lymphedema, what it is and why you have them. Tell them you were born with it. Oh, God. Or tell them it's a side effect of cancer treatment, or as I like to say, it's a gift that keeps on giving. Tell them you have lymphatic disease. Just keep talking. As you've heard a lot, 10 million people in the U.S. alone have lymphedema and lymphatic diseases. And we're finally getting noticed thanks to Bill Rapisi and the team at LE&RN, Kathy Bates, and all the patient advocates and national media coverage. Even little Emma's going to be on Dr. Phil next week. But we still have a long way to go. I believe the time is here that we can start raising millions of dollars for LE&RN and find a cure for the disease. While this walk is great, it frustrates me that we can't even raise $50,000. We should be raising millions and millions, and I think we could do it if we try. And really, my goal is that one day we put Bill and the team of LE&RN out of a job. Sorry, Bill. We want to send Kathy Bates back to do her next movie, and I just want Emma to go back to being a kid. And one more request. I want everyone that has lymphedema and their friends and their family become a member of LE&RN. It's really simple. You can get $5 a month. I mean, it's 1 cup of coffee from Starbucks. Please join them and then find one new member this month and then another and another. If 10 million people have it, we should have millions of supporters with friends and patients, not just a few. So always remember, every single day, always remember, every single one of us can make a difference. I'm just a girl from New York who happened to get lymphedema. I'm not a research scientist, a doctor, a professional fundraiser. I've been asked, how do you raise so much money? I just ask. I'm like non-relenting. I put it on Facebook every day. I just don't stop. I just keep asking. On the way home, I'll still be doing it. There had to be a better way to do this. But I wake up every single day, I wrap my leg and say, let's find a cure. It can happen. I truly believe it.